Good day. Welcome to the CTA Level 1 Test 1 Manfin revision video. The presenter is Mutsawa Shembaiwa, and today I'm going to revise with you required E. Part 1 wanted you to discuss, do you agree with Newtown's financial advisor suggestion? Part 1. And further, when is it appropriate to purchase a put option? Part 2 wanted you to graphically demonstrate the net hedge position if Newtown purchases the put option. In number 3, advise Newtown on which instruments they should use to hedge out their risks. So in this specific required communication, that is presentation and clarity of expression, was 2 marks. Now, let's discuss further. Our part 1 wanted us to identify, do you agree? So your response was supposed to be a no or a yes. So in this specific section, for us to do justice to this question, we need to go back to the scenario. So the last paragraph, the last 2 paragraphs is where we are given the specific information to help us answer this required. So this required was asking for us to identify the financial risks that Newtown will be facing should they assist Michael. So we need to identify so they are now saying the current price to perform the operation is 1,700, and it is predicted that the price will increase due to scarcity of drugs. So the factory manager believes it will enhance the company's reputation, and they've approached Michael's parents to pay for the operation. So now Newtown is absorbing or consuming the financial risk. Which financial risk? So in this case now, since Newtown will be paying for the operation, it now means there will be a buyer of what? Of the operation, or they will be paying for the operation. So to this extent, does the instrument that is being suggested by the financial advisor, that is to purchase a put option, appropriate? You needed to identify the characteristics of a put option. The characteristics of a put option. Number 1, when do I use a put option? A put option gives me the right to sell an underlying asset at a pre-agreed price. Number 2, it is normally bought or purchased when one is anticipating that prices will decrease. Now let's go back and match information that we have been given. Are Newtown going to be a buyer or a seller? They are going to be a buyer. So they definitely don't need the right to sell. Number 2, it is another characteristic is that it is bought when you anticipate that prices will decrease. In our case, are prices going to decrease or they are actually going to increase? In our case, prices are predicted that they are actually going to increase. So in line with this, definitely a put option is not appropriate. So it is appropriate when one wants a right to sell an underlying asset at a pre-agreed price, and when one anticipates that prices will decrease, and so on. So that was the thought process of how we come up with the justification. Do I agree or do I not agree? And how do I identify when a put option is appropriate? I use the characteristics of a put option. Now let's move on to required 2. It now says graphically demonstrate the net hedged position if Newtown purchases the put option. Now we are now saying yes, the put option is not appropriate. But now what is our net hedged position going to be? That is a position where we are or analyze, are we now better off or we are worse off by purchasing this put option. So for identifying or identification of a net hedged position, I need a what? I need the risk profile and the instrument. I need the risk profile and the instrument. Now, using information that we have been given, let's identify Newton's risk profile. So we label our x's, so profit, and then the x-axis says the price for the operation, and it's 0. So the current price for the medication for the operation is 1,700. Now, if the should in 6 months later, if the price is now 1,000 as an example, will Newton be happy or not? They will definitely be happy. But if the price is now 2,500, will they be happy or they will not be happy? They will be not happy. So this is how I come up with my risk profile. So this demonstrates the risk that Newton will be facing is that the one who want to pay for the medication. So this is the risk profile of a buyer. Now let's move on to the instrument itself, the put option. I also draw my diagram and I label my axis. So the x-axis says the underlying, which is the price of the operation, and my y-axis says my profit. Now, how do I come up with a put option diagram? So I need to clearly demarcate my exercise price, which is 1,850. Now, I'm now analyzing. In 6 months' time, if should the price, for example, be 1,000, am I happy or I'm not happy? In this case, since you are a buyer of a put option, you are happy if the price is, for example, 1,000. Why do I say so? This means in the market, someone else is selling is selling the underlying at what? At 1,000. But you have a right to sell at 1,850, making you obtain some sort of profit or saving of about 850. Until, let's assume the current price is now 1,850. You will still what? Exercise. Why do I say you still exercise? Because normally the exercise price is the price that you are comfortable, or the highest price that you are comfortable in receiving from the contract or in paying for the contract. Now in this case, if the price is now 2,000 as an example, if the price is now 2,000, because someone else in the market is now obtaining 2,000, I will not exercise my right to sell. I will lose maximum to the extent of the premium I have forked out. So maybe I'll be somewhere here. So in this case, so you're not given a premium. So to assume a premium was correct. So maybe my premium, I'll put a minus x there. And then, so in this case, I'm now saying the maximum I am going to lose is limited to the premium that I paid, which is amount x. If the price is, say, 3,000, come 6 months' time, I will not exercise, and the maximum I'll ever lose is the what? Premium that I pay. Should I join the dots on my diagram? It looks like this. So this is the buy put option diagram. Now, the net hedged position now. As I indicated earlier, for a net hedged position, there is supposed to be a risk profile and the instrument. So I need to draw my table. I use the market price, I need the risk, and I need the buy put. Now I'm analyzing. So I can suggest multiple market prices. So I can maybe start off with 1,500, 1,700, 1,800, 1,850, 1,950, 2,500, and so on. So this is to your discretion. You select the market price that you want. Now I'm now analyzing at my current risk of 1,700. If the price is 1,500, am I happy? Yes, I obtain a saving of 200. If the price is 1,700, I am at break even. I neither make a profit or a loss. But any amount exceeding 1,700, I am now making a loss. So if the price is 1,800, I make a loss of minus 100, minus 150, minus 250, minus, this is 2,500, minus 800. Now, I now analyze again. If I am buying a put option, if the market price is 1,500, but I have a right to sell at 1,850, do I exercise? Yes. I obtain a profit of how much? 350. Because someone else in the market is getting 1,500, but because I have a right to sell, I'm obtaining 1,850 and gaining 350 extra. If the price is 1,700, I'm still exercising. I get a profit or a saving of 1,150. If the price is 1,800, I exercise and I obtain a saving of 50. If the price is 1,850, I exercise, but I'm now at 0. In this case, let's assume we paid a premium of $50. So if you pay the premium of $50 to obtain this right, do I exercise or do I not exercise? Yes, I exercise, but I'm still somewhere closer to 0. At 1,950, do I exercise or not exercise? I will not exercise. So the maximum that I'm going to lose out will be on the premium that I paid. In this case, we have assumed a premium of $50. If the price is not 2,500, do I exercise or not? I do not exercise. The maximum I lose out is on the premium that I paid. So now let's add to get our profit. 1,500 plus 200 plus 350, which gives us a total of 2,050. 1.7 plus 150, 1,850. 1.8 minus 100 plus 50, 1,750. 1.8 minus 150 plus 0, 1,700. 1.9 minus 250 minus 50, 1,650. 2,500 minus 800 minus 50, which gives me again 1,650. So what do I now do with this information? I now go and plot my net hedged position. So this is my profit, and that is my underlying price. So all the market prices that I've demarcated from here, I'm now going to label them here. So I have a 1,500, I have a 1.7, 1,800, and so on. So I now need to mark and demarcate for, if my market price is 1,500, my profit would be 2,000 and 2,050. So I'm somewhere here, here, and so on and so on, and I demarcate. So I'm likely going to come up with some sort of net hedged position that looks like this. So this is how you come up with a net hedged position. So for a net hedged position, I need, for a net hedge position, I need a risk profile in the instruments that I have been given. And to assist me in drawing the diagram or the table, I now need to factor in the market prices. So that was how you came up, or you'd come up with your net hedged position. Now we've analyzed the net hedged position and we've analyzed the risk and the suggested instrument. We now need to advise Newtown. Since we've identified that this is not an appropriate hedging instrument, now let's advise Newtown on the instruments that they can use to hedge out their risk. So, to hedge out on their risk, one needed to identify the instrument and then explain plus explanation. So the explanation was to the extent of, should I, for example, if I am to enter into a forward contract, how is it going to assist me in mitigating my risk? If I am to, for example, you suggest buy a call option, how is it going to assist me in mitigating my risk? Or how is it going to assist Newtown in mitigating their risk to obtain 4 marks? So 1 mark was for the identification of the instrument, and the other one was for the explanation, earning you 2 full marks. Now let's discuss where you are going to obtain those presentation and layout marks from. Now the presentation and layout marks we're going to be obtained from the diagrams. So for a student who managed to identify the correct risk profile, the correct buy put option diagram, and the net hedged position, and managed to label all their diagrams, that student was able to obtain presentation in the presentation and layout marks. So the diagram was supposed to be clear, and it was supposed to have been labeled, and by labeled, the x-axis should be labeled, the y-axis should be labeled, and the underlying price should be labeled for the risk profile, and the exercise price for the buy put option was supposed to be labeled again. So this was the thought process for required E, and how to obtain your marks for required E. So if you have any further questions, even after going through this video on how we came up with suggested solution, please feel free to come through for a consult. Thank you for taking your time to go through this video.